Hey everyone, I'm Brian, and you're watching the Build a Place channel. In this video, I'm going to make a rack to hold my screw clamps. I have 5 of them, and I'm going to make the rack so it can hold 6 in case I purchase another one or find another one somewhere. So let's get started on this project. I've already cut the pieces of wood for this. They're 3 pieces, 6 by 15 and 3/4 of 3/4 inch plywood, and 2 pieces of 4.5 by 5.25 or 5.25 inch pieces. That'll be for the braces. So what I'm going to do for the top, it's going to be a laminate of 2. So I'm going to glue these 2 pieces together right now and clamp that up and let that set up. And this is a piece that I'm going to be machining in the spots for the screw clamps to go. Apply a liberal amount of wood glue to the one surface. And like I said, this is going to be the top piece that we're going to be machining. It's a fairly smooth surface. I think there's enough glue. We'll just spray it out a little bit so we make sure we get a good coverage throughout the whole thing. It should have any problems gluing up. Piece on top, line it up. 2 pieces are the same size. Start to clamp it. As we'll make sure that it's still lined up, that it didn't move. Just lightly clamp it for now. Okay, we'll let that glue set up. While that's doing that, we'll work on just cutting the angles on the braces. Now on the brackets, I said earlier, they're 4.5 inches wide by 5.25 inch is high. So what we're going to do is just basically we're going to notch out or notch down 3/4 inch here and come on this edge, go back 3/4 inch, create a diagonal between those 2 points. And we're going to cut this piece off as scrap. I'll do the same thing on this one. Let's go to the bandsaw and we'll cut these 2 brackets out. I decided to let this sit overnight, let the glue fully cure. So now I'm going to take it out of the clamps. The next thing is to mark where I'm going to be drilling my holes across through here. So let me get these clamps out of the way. I decided to come 4 inches out from the back. So I'm going to mark 4 inches. Put a light line down on the 4 inch mark. And then I'm going to space these 2.25 inches apart. So 2.25, 4.5, 6 3/4, 9 inches, 11.25, and 13.5 right there. That should give me all my marks for where I'm going to be drilling the holes. I have all the locations marked for the holes that I'm going to be drilling. So next step is take it over the drill press. I'm going to drill the first step of the hole. I selected to use my Shopsmith mainly because it has a fence that I can just lay that board against, and I can set the fence 4 inches from the center. So I just bring this down. I have just a point on the end of the chuck here. I can just set this to 4 inches. And all the holes will be 4 inches off of the fence. So that's selected. Tighten up the fence. So now I just put the board up against the fence and just slide it down. Remove my center point. For the first hole I selected 1.5 inches. Probably could have went with 1.25 inches, but I just figured I'd go 1.5 inches, give it extra space around the handle. Chuck that in. I'm planning on going down about, I think I'm going to go down 3/8 of an inch is what I'm planning to go down into the, bore down into the top plate. I set the stop on the drill press so that it's going to go down 3/8 of an inch and stop. So that's where I want it to be. I'm going to start with the first hole here in line and drill that. Now that I completed drilling the 1.5 inch counter bores, I'm going to drill a 1/2 inch hole all the way through everything and using the center point on the previous bore to line up the hole and then the 4 inches with the fence. I put a piece of wood in the bag to protect it from breaking out. It's just a scrap piece of wood. So now I'm going to drill these all the way through. The next step is to mark lines away from the holes we drilled that are just tangent with that hole. That's going to be the notch where the threads of the screw clamp will go through. So we'll just mark all these holes, tangent, and just using the square. Last hole. 2, 3, 4. And there's six positions for the clamps. So we'll just take this over to the saw, cut these pieces out. I have all the slots all marked, but this last one I'm not going to be able to get to because of the throat on the bandsaw. So I marked that tangent line on the opposite side. So start cutting these. Let me set the height on this bandsaw down. For the last cut, we're going to have to turn this over, and I marked a line tangent to the circle. We're going to cut that out. That's our final. All the cuts are made, or the slots are all cut. So let's go. The next step, I just want to do a fit check and see how these look. You just put one or so in there, smaller one, and then we'll take the large one and put beside it. And this will be a medium one. Put beside that. From the back side, that looks pretty good. I need to look around. Even from the front, it looks good. So let's continue on with the next step. Now I want to install this piece onto the back. So I'm running a bead of glue across here. And install this to the top. Moving it around and spread the glue out. I'll put a couple 2.5-inch brads into this. I'll pull it together while it's setting up. Pull that excess glue. Then I'm going to install the brackets. I'm going to make them about 1/4 inch off the edge. Just put a little bit of glue on them. Let that glue sit in there a little bit. I'm going to have to change my thread nail. I'm going to put 2-inch brads into these. I think 2.5 is going to be a little bit much. While I was off camera changing the brads, I also put a clamp kind of diagonal here to pull this bracket in. So now I'm going to, it's a little bit long. We'll take that one out in a little bit. That wasn't funny. Okay, not bad, other than a little bit of problems with the corners. I should just put all my screw clamps. Thanks for watching my channel. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you like this kind of content, subscribe to my channel. I plan to have plenty more projects, woodworking, electronics, almost everything I do, a little bit all. So subscribe if you like. Leave comments. I'll try to reply back to any of your comments. If you have any questions about the project, it's pretty straightforward. So it didn't go without a hitch. We did have a problem with the brackets squaring up the box or squaring up this piece. And we did have a brad that went all the way through too far. So give me comments. Thanks for watching again. Now it's time to mount this thing on the wall somewhere. I think I got a place where I'm going to put it. So stay tuned. One spare. It's all good to go.